Okay. All right. So with that, welcome to the 4-H Club Leader Training for April 2026. So I appreciate you all getting on here. We will be going through several things, and including some of our agenda items is publicity guidelines for our youth. As you know, last year we kind of changed that in Kansas 4-H, and I'm going to kind of give you some tips, and then I'm going to actually after the May 1st deadline, so next week I will send out some things for that. So we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a few minutes. I also want to give you a reminder of horse project requirements for this year. So if you have any club members who are in the horse project, there's some deadlines that are coming up that they need to know about. We'll also talk about summer activities, some different things that we have going on and some things we are going for. I also want to give a little bit of training. So today's training is going to be building youth and
I'm not
adult
I'm not
partnerships.
doing Pokemon on my phone right now at all.
So, and then I also have a little bit about fairs and some new things that are going on, but I'll get much more depth on that on tomorrow's Zoom call on our 4-H update for fair, for the Miami County Fair. And then the engineering and technology exhibit packets, I want you to be sure to know what those are. And then I'll have questions or concerns. So although you can ask questions at any time. So that's kind of my agenda for tonight. If you have any questions at any time, feel free to either put them in the chat and I'll try to keep track of that, or put them in, or you can unmute yourself and ask the question as well. So, all right. With that, I am going to go on to publicity guidelines. So, as you know, it's been 2 years basically. 4-H, when you enroll in 4-H now, they actually ask you if you want to, if you agree to let basically Kansas 4-H and K-State Extension use your kids as first, well, and even you as adults, your first name, your last name, your extension unit, which would be Marais District, your name of 4-H, the name of your 4-H club, and then ask if you want to, if it's okay to use it in media, print only media, social media, or at the county fair. We do not have, I ran the report today. We do not have a lot of people who have said permission is not granted for those things, but we do have a few. I am going to send those out by club. So if you have somebody in your club next week, I will send a message to club leaders saying, hey, this is the kid, this is the family who has said that they don't want their name shared or anything like that. Where it really comes into ours is it means that we will have different things to do with basically county fair. So they might have a tag on them that doesn't say like Karla Hightower on it. It might say Karla H instead, because maybe they don't have, I can't use their last name, or it might just say KH participant because I can't use any of their name, that type of thing, and all that. So I kind of wanted to let you guys know that also, especially social media, because I know sometimes it's really nice to share, and that's how we get the word out and how we let people know what our kids are doing and what programs we're doing here. But we do have to be careful, and we want to make sure our kids are safe. And so if they've granted permission, even if they've granted permission, the best practice is to, no matter what the participant's age, we only publish the first name, especially on social media. I don't tag pictures and names together, but even about the only time I do full names is my seniors who get scholarships. Everyone else gets, if they win an award or something, like right now I have YEC, I have kids at state YEC, which is Youth Entrepreneurship Challenge. We have Max and we have Freya, but I would never get their last names on that. And I try not to put pictures and kids together so that just in case somebody sees that picture, I don't want them to be able to identify those kids somewhere outside of that. So that's kind of the first part of that. Now, if they did not give us permission at all to, or on some of these, that's where we do not publish any of the information that they disagreed to. So an example can be, maybe we just say, announce them as a 4-H member from, if they let us use the name of their club, a 4-H member from, Busy Beavers 4-H Club or Progressive 4-H Club or, any of our 4-H clubs. Or we'll do the first name initial, the last name initial, and then say participant. So it'd be like KH participant. If they haven't given you a 4-H club, it just might say a 4-H member, or it might say the first KH participant type thing. So that's kind of where you're at on that. I know it's hard and it's not the easiest thing to deal with. Like I said, luckily we do not have a lot of kids that are doing it, or I shouldn't say a lot of kids. We don't have a lot of parents who are choosing this, but I understand why they would choose it too, because we want to protect all of our kids and make sure that they're safe and doing what we need to do it. So are there any questions on that or how it affects you guys?
No questions.
Okay. All right. All right, moving on. Just a reminder, we have enrollment deadlines coming up quick. May 1st is our new member enrollment, so that's Friday. And then May 1st is also add or delete project deadline. Please, if I know this is last minute and they're coming up quickly, and I'll probably send out an email reminder about this as well tomorrow. But one of the things I have happen every year is they go in and they enroll their kid on January 14th, and they don't enroll them in like one project. So maybe they put them in foods. But they really want to be in visual arts and poultry and all these other projects. And then they forget May 1st to add those projects. So I encourage everyone to just go ahead and enroll in projects when you enroll your kids, or, make sure that you get those added and double check those project listings before that May 1st deadline. So, and it's not as important. I mean, you can delete projects if you want to. It doesn't hurt, but if you don't want to, it's okay to leave them in there too if you think you might have them, but be sure and add any projects that you might want to take to fair or exhibit at fair. All right, moving on to the horse project. They are horse ID papers are due June 1st, which seems like a long ways away, but it's only a month away almost. You want to make sure you're using the 2025 updated form. There are some other forms out there, but the last update was in 2025 last year. And they must ID any horse that you may use in the show. So if they're planning on showing a horse at a 4-H event, they have to have those horse ID papers on that horse. Another requirement for Miami County, and I maybe in Lynn County too, I'm not positive on that. Yeah, I don't have anybody from Lynn County anyway. You must complete the Kansas 4-H horse safety exam, which is online before July 1st. And then you should get a confirmation email, and you can forward that email on to Caitlin Barthol to prove that you've done it. So that is a requirement, and that part of that is just to make sure that we have people who understand their horse and are going to be safe when they're riding their horse for it. Okay. All right, some summer activities that we're offering. We have 2 day camps. They are scheduled. We have payola for June 23rd from 9 a.m. to 3:30. We are going to the swimming pool. So if you have anybody who's coming to that, parents are welcome to meet us at the pool and join us at the pool if they want to. We do usually try to come back to the fair building or to the 4-H building to gather all our stuff before they actually go home, because a lot of times we seem to have parents who think that they should pick their kids up at the pool, and then they don't have all their stuff with them. Sometimes I'm thinking maybe we should change that, but we haven't changed it yet. So registration is due by June 12th, and it is $10 for that day camp. And there's a lot of fun activities that our leadership team in Miami County has basically done. It's a lot of outdoor activities. And then we also have our 4-H day camp in Mound City on June 30th. It's going to be a dinosaur dig. And so their leadership team has done lots of activities too, like paper shadow dinosaurs and some different things that we're going to do. And their registration is due June 18th. So, but it is $10 as well, and it's 9 to 12:30 p.m. We also have some other summer activities that we're working on right now. Bridget, our 4-H program manager, is working on maybe getting a poultry clinic from our judge last year to kind of know about poultry health and showing and how to prep your birds, get them ready for show. We're also looking at maybe doing a couple of STEM or we've talked about a lot of things. So maybe some of the engineering and technology project, doing a workshop or two this summer with that as well. We also are going to have 2 interns that will be offering STEM and some other kind of project, or not project necessarily, not just for 4-Hers, but for anybody out there throughout the summer. They'll be partnering with several different partners like the libraries and the Wildwood Camp, but they'll also be here for um, they'll also be here doing some activities probably in our office as well. So be looking for those things. Those will come out on our Facebook pages and different things like that for that. So there should be lots of activities for kids this summer. Okay. So now I want to talk to you a little bit about youth and adult partnerships. So think back to when you were a kid, and I know, that was a long time ago for me, but who showed you that you mattered to them? What did those adults do? Can you think of a name? Do you want to share what would you guys? Yeah, please share. What did those adult? What did it? How did adults show that you mattered to them?
I would say one of the things I can think of is that they took the time to listen, truly listen to that what you had to say as a kid. That was important.
Okay.
Yeah, I think just growing up, for me, growing up in 4-H, it was a big family thing, and extended family thing. But you were always encouraged to try new things, and experience all the things of 4-H.
Okay.
I think for me, it was probably like remembering my name, remembering what I was involved in. So when you saw them at the next meeting or something, they said, "Hey, how did that go?" And remembering what things you had going on in your life, kind of thing.
Okay, those were all good answers. And we're going to talk a little bit more about all of these things here in a minute. But okay, thinking back again, who pushed you to keep getting better? And how did they do that?
Probably parents, of course, for me. Just being supportive and attending things and taking me to things to continue on and not quit. You always finished what you started.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Parents are encouraging and pushing you to strive to do better, and
Yeah. Well, and I think it also goes back, at least in my personal, it was my parents, but it was also sometimes my 4-H leaders and other adults that would say, "Hey, Karla, come try photography judging at the county fair," or, come try this and see, and so that's another way you can think about doing that as well as a club leader or a superintendent or just an adult. So also think about who helped you complete tasks and achieve your goals. So, and how did they do that?
I think being supportive, being a reference, helping with your future, like going to college or achieving, what you plan to do after 4-H, after as you become an adult. So I think 4-H leaders had a huge part in that.
which is always good to know because that's what we try to do.
Yeah.
Anyone else have anything on that one? Okay. And then just think about who treated you with respect and gave you a say, and how did they do that? So I think with mine, I served on a lot of, I was a 4-H'er. I know that's going to be shocking to all of you. But I served on a lot of committees and some teams as well. I was on a couple of different judging teams. And I think that's how I did it. Oh. Teresa, were you trying to talk? I'm sorry. Sorry, give me a second.
There she comes back.
I am sorry about that. All of a sudden I lost internet.
You're good.
So I apologize for that. And I don't know because I think my internet went unstable before that. So anyway,
There was two answers to your question.
okay.
Yeah. I'll just repeat mine. Mine was from my experience going to 4-H camp, and
Okay.
my camp counselors. They always made sure that everybody, in the whatever activity we were doing or team building thing, and they'd make sure everybody, if somebody had an idea, they made sure they went around and heard everybody's ideas, and everybody got to be heard and listened to everybody and valued. It wasn't a bad idea. Everybody just throw an idea out there.
Very good. Okay, going on. Who connected you with people and places that broadened your world? And how did they do that?
I think for me, it was just going to college and being immersed and completely like getting to experience people from all over, the country, let alone and from the world. Growing up in small town Kansas, like that's all kind of. And so I think that with the different cultures for me was where I got to experience that.
Cool.
I'd say as a young 4-H'er, it was, I remember going to dog shows and being involved with those and meeting the other kids from that area, but then it got wider to the region. Got to meet and know people and see faces from year to year, and that, broadened my people connections that I had there. And then also when I got involved to be an exchange student through 4-H, through IFE, and we met multiple times leading up to our exchange, and so I got to know other people from the state that I was in at the time, that happened to be Illinois, and then when we traveled over to the other country, then we continued to have those connections, and even when we came back after being exchange, and it was really broadened the world for sure.
Okay. Very good. All right. Well, thank you all for sharing. If any of you wanted to share, please feel free. But I'm going to kind of move on. So we kind of talked about, these are some of the things we really want to talk about. So there are 5 elements to youth adult partnerships, basically, and to really make a difference in kids lives, you want to make sure you express care. So we want to be dependable. We want to listen to our youth. We want to believe in them. We want to be warm. We want to encourage them. We also want to challenge growth. So we want to expect them to be their best. We want to give them clear expectations. We also want to stretch them, let them try new things. I think it might have been Teresa or Jamie, one of them said something about trying new things. So, but you also want to hold them accountable. So, if they don't get something done for the meeting that they were supposed to do, they need to know that they need to do it for the next meeting, or that, that not somebody else isn't going to step in and do it for them. And, reflect on failures. So, basically helping them learn from mistakes and setbacks. How can you make it better? What did you do well, even? Because I think sometimes we get on, oh, I failed at everything on this project or something, nothing went right. But we need to also think about what did go right, but then how can we correct the things that did go wrong, that didn't go wrong. We also want to provide support. So we want to help guide them navigate through hard situations and systems. We want to build and empower them and build their confidence to take charge of their lives. We want to stand up for them when needed. We also want to set boundaries. Like I said, put in place limits that help keep you on track. We want to share power. You want to treat youth with the respect and give them a say. So, respect them, take them seriously and treat them fairly. Include them. Make sure that they're involved in decisions, especially that affect them. And collaborate. Help them solve problems and reach goals. And then create opportunities for youth to take action and lead. And then we also want to make sure we expand their possibilities. Connect them with with people that broaden their world. So you can inspire them to see possibilities for the future. You can broaden horizons by exposing youth to new ideas and experiences. And you can connect and introduce youth to people who will help them grow. And that's where, maybe having a guest speaker for careers or something comes involved, or encouraging them to go on some of our state conferences, which we really have a low attendance right now on state conferences. But, that's where they meet people from across the state and learn more about things like that. And even just, joining leadership group and meeting other kids in Miami County can sometimes be that as well. So it's a good thing to, inspire, broaden horizons, connect that. But when you're working with youth as club leaders, or just, however you're working with them, just kind of think about those things when you do it. How do you express care to them? How do you challenge their growth? How are you going to provide support? How are you going to share power? And how are you going to expand possibilities? And some ways of doing that is like expressing care. You can ask young people to tell you about themselves and listen to their stories. I think I have that. Yeah. You can take time to learn about young people's names as soon as possible after meeting them. I will be honest, that's one of my downfalls, but I try. Make sure you look in the youth's eyes when you talk to them. Focus on them. Make sure they know that you're actually listening. Nod your head. Give them those cues. It's also a good way for kids to actually learn how to listen as well. So, and make time for lightness, sharing some humor, fun, laughter, admit all of all tasks. Smile. If you see somebody who's acting differently, ask them why. Let them know you care, basically. You can also do a challenging growth. You can be as specific as possible in giving feedback. Describe what a young person did well and what was good about it. And it can also help contrast with what you see with past examples as evidence of growth, particularly if growth is important to the young person. Encourage their future goals. Talk with young people about things they look forward to or dream about. I know I had one that a 14-year-old the other day that said something about, I'm not gonna do anything after high school or something. And I was like, because I don't want to go to college. And I was like, well, maybe you want to try trade school or, see what other opportunities are available there. Um, I don't really, not that anybody has to go to college or trade school, but just kind of exploring those opportunities and making sure that they realize there is more out there than just one path. And expect young people to do their best, even when doing something they don't really like. And emphasize discovery, mastery, and self improvement more so that than doing better than others. So instead of competition, it's more about yourself and their selves and how they've done things. Providing support practices, some ways you can do that is catching young people doing something right, telling young people that their feelings are okay, helping them solve problems when they encounter barriers to their goals, and showing young people how to ask for help when they need it. I kind of feel sometimes that in our world today, you're not supposed to ask for help, and we all need help at times. Okay, I apologize again because I lost internet, and I'm at the office. That's what's really weird about this. So, are you guys able to hear me now? Okay, am I back now?
We can hear
You
you.
are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I am so sorry. I do not know what is going on with our internet. It has been slow all day, and now all of a sudden it just keeps going. You have no internet. So I do apologize that. I'm even at the office. You'd think it would be better, but maybe this is why I do it at home most of the time. Anyway, so I apologize for that. Just kind of going on. I don't know what all you heard, but just think about what we've talked about. I'm offline again. I apologize. I think we're going to have to end this because I think it went offline again.
Karla, does it get any better if you turn your camera off?
I don't know if it will or not. It might. I'm also trying to put it on my phone. Give me a second.
Oh, sure.
Um, but I will be honest, if it goes again, we're just probably gonna. Okay. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I just switched to my phone, so we're running off my phone now. So we'll see how that goes. So anyway, I would say, just think about what we kind of talked about. I'm still unstable though.
You might need to take your phone off of Wi-Fi because you're probably on it there at
Oh
the
yeah, that's
office,
probably
and then
true.
also, and you need to share your screen with the
Okay.
slides again.
Yeah. Thank you. It's a good thing it's only you guys that are doing this. If I was, doing a little bit more, you all know me well enough to know that this is not the usual thing. But anyway, so just kind of
We know
think
the
about
frustration.
yeah,
We've
yeah,
all been there.
exactly. So just kind of going back to the youth adult partnerships is just think about that when you're dealing with your club members, and just try to make sure that you are treating them that way, and then they'll have a positive experience and go into more of yeah, they'll grow up to be productive citizens, which is what 4-H is all about. We want our 4-Hers to be known as the cream of the crop, and this is one of the ways of doing that. So okay, any questions about positive youth and adult partnerships?
No questions. Good advice.
Awesome. All right, just a little bit about fairs. Summer is coming quickly. I'm not ready for it. I don't know about any of the rest of you, but anyway, Miami County and fair is July 18th to the 25th. Pre-entries will open June 1st, and they are going to be due by July 1st. So as normal. And Lynn County's fair is August 1st through the 8th, and their pre-entries will be due July 15th. I'm not sure when they open theirs up. I think it's around that June 15th or June 1st as well. So that's just kind of let you know. As I said, for Miami County, we do have a Zoom tomorrow. We will record it as well, and I will not be doing it from the office. So hopefully we'll have better internet connection. But we are going to try to walk through, because I know we have a lot of new families in 4-H. And my goal is to kind of walk through like when everything is coming in and when things have to be there and that type of thing. And then I'm going to try to clip it and have a little video post of it as well. So if you have anybody who's new or has maybe lots of questions, please have them either get on the Zoom tomorrow night, or if they can't make that, be sure and watch it and look for those clips and things about how, when things are coming in for Miami County and when things happen and kind of how things happen as well, because I'm going to try to explain all of those things. So, because that seems to be one of the biggest questions I get is, oh, I didn't know we could do that and that it was supposed to come in today. So that's kind of where I'm at. Another kind of change for the fairs is entomology and geology boxes. So for projects displayed in a box style exhibits, such as entomology or geology, they have to be opened for judging, but they are, and before they never allowed them to do this, but they are allowing them now to have a closure mechanism on the box. And some of the ideas, they're not required, but it used to result in a ribbon deduction, and it's no longer doing that. And some acceptable options include like Velcro strips or hook style fasteners. Closures cannot interfere with the box's ability to be displayed on the shelf and cannot be lockable, but we're hoping that'll help from some of the sliding. And we had a couple of things that happened at State Fair last year that kind of caused some incidents. So I just kind of want you guys to be aware of that. If you have anybody in the entomology or geology boxes, we'll talk about it again tomorrow night too. But I know they're not always going to hear that, and want to make sure that they realize that they can put some kind of fastener on there as long as it's still allowed to be displayed and can be opened. Another thing that seems to be a little bit of a concern is information packets. So all of our technology and engineering and technology projects, which include like aerospace, ag mechanics, welding, astronomy, building block engineering, computer science, which we really don't have computer science at our fair, electric and renewable energy, robotics, small engines, and uncrewed aircraft systems, they have to have a 2026 basically packet that they put the they call it kind of a exhibit form, so that 4-H ag mechanics welding that you can kind of see on your screen, that's an example of it, of the exhibit form, and they have to fill that out and then put it on a 10 by 13 envelope, and they place plans or photos, videos of operation, any other documentation, how much it cost, those type of things in the envelope. So they do that for a lot of things. They do that for rocketry. We've been doing it for rocketry and robotics and some of those others, but we haven't been doing it for necessarily small engines, electric and renewable energy, and building block engineering, but they do require that now. So I just want everyone to be aware of that as well for fair. I am also recruiting superintendents right now and judges. So if you guys, I think almost all of you have actually got letters from me asking you if you'll be a superintendent. So, but if you haven't and would like to, let me know. I will be sending out emails about some of the ones I need, because I know I need like a bicycle superintendent, because our 2 bicycle superintendents are done after this year, and it'd be good to have somebody who kind of got trained with them on that. And I have a couple other places that we need a few superintendents as well. So be looking for that. And, realize that even though I'm calling you all superintendents, you're rarely by yourself as a superintendent. You are usually working as a team with, I try to have at least one other one, except for the really small projects. And, so you are with other people, and you're learning from them too. So, and it's not a hard job, and I'm there to support you, as well as all of our other staff and volunteers. So, but it does take us all to do all these, to get all these exhibits judged and displayed, and to make fair, meaningful opportunity for our youth. So, okay, with that, do you have any questions or concerns or anything that you'd like to ask me about?
I can't think of any questions, Karla.
Okay.
Same. I don't have any questions right now.
Well, as you know, anytime you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm here to help support you all. And I just want to say thank you for being great, because you're great club leaders and volunteers, and we could not reach the kids we do in the Miami County or Marais District without all of you. So I appreciate you taking your time and effort and making a difference in our kids' life. And, and I know you're doing great jobs, and I appreciate it. So if you ever need support or need to talk something over, you know where to find me. And I appreciate you taking your time tonight.
Thanks, Karla. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you. Have a good evening.